Peter Johnson, Jr., Fox News legal analyst, has been analyzing the president's plan and shares his thoughts. Peter?
Good morning, Brian. You know, grief at the passing of Senator Kennedy has now become raw political opportunism, and liberal Democrats in their twittering mainstream acolytes are posing a loaded question, which for them suggests its own answer. What would Teddy do about health care? Fans or not fans, we owe the senator acknowledgement for a lifetime of service. But frankly, the debt ends there. We have seen a month of the true American Congress, the town hall. America has spoken out, all people of all parties, against the president's big gov care. So many Democratic Congress people, however, chose to hide out and cower behind webcasts and phone calls, afraid to see the faces and anxiety of those they serve. It was an August where dissent was demonized and our oldest Americans, convicted in the media for merely gathering facts, were labeled fearmongers, scandalized as evildoers and mobsters, a time when fear of snitch lists for fishy behavior culminated in viral emails from the White House to those who did not invite them. A summer where our own president invoked the moral righteousness of his plan when not implying the religious inferiority of his opponents. One poll now shows that 50% of the American people oppose big gov care. Before we found out what it was, most Americans awaited it. But then we heard of comparative effectiveness research and health panels, ominous quality of life year measurements, mandates, and even fines on you. Your leaders know that their health care reform makes many of you feel sick. But Democrats in Congress, who once lauded post-partisan America, now say that if they have the votes, it's going to be their way or the highway. That the public be damned. Don't blame us. Blame the Republicans. We will save this presidency even if we shove the plan down your throat. Senator Harry Reid, unpopular even in his own home state, may use a slick parliamentary maneuver called reconciliation, which means just the opposite, that their will, not yours, be done. Even though the president's popularity has crashed faster than almost any American president and stands now at less than 50%, even though the confidence rate of Americans in our Congress stands only at 32%, the New York Times yesterday cheered the president on. Do what they said, invoking the worst of his angels. Why? Because yes, you can. Do it for Teddy. If something is going to be done, shouldn't it be done for you and for me and your family and mine and not Teddy? The honest way to save a presidency and to bring legitimate health care improvement is for the president to reject the Democratic partisan trajectory and illusion of transparency which has marked their health care politics. We have cataloged a sickening ballet of distraction and deception in which the president punches big pharma and health insurers hard in the nose publicly in the Blue Room and then shakes hands privately in a White House backroom giveaway, which means higher drug costs and higher out-of-pocket costs for you. Less choice and less access. Less care for seniors, longer waits with shorter office visits with general practitioners instead of specialists. Cost-benefit analysis, of which many of you wonder, what care will I get and when? On every examining table, a bureaucrat taking your pulse. Every man and woman, a health supplicant, hoping that you are not too sick and have not lived too long. The heat of August has ignited a bright light on who we are and what we can afford as a people. To change the way all of us live, the way we live, the way we die, for selfish short-term political gain, by invoking a departed liberal hero, is to lose the confidence of the American people. To ignore the bright light shown by you, Mr. and Mrs. America, is to ignore your oaths of office. The future of ordinary but powerless Americans has always weighed heavier on America's scale of social justice than the political fortune of a sitting president or the imagined legacy of his now departed political sponsor. We hope and pray that the history that all of us make in the coming weeks keeps faith with our founders' example. And those are my thoughts on this last day of August, 2009. We'll keep watching. We'll let you know.
All right. Peter Johnson with prescription.